I made this Japanese anime style room in Blender from scratch, and here's how you can do it too. Let's start. Okay, so now in a new Blender file, let's start by creating our room first. Over here we have the reference image which I have taken from Demon Slayer, and all of the textures that I will be using in this video, I have provided them for free in the link in description so that you can easily follow along. Alright, so let's press Shift A and add in a cube first, and this cube is going to be our room. You can press N to bring up the sidebar, and the dimensions can be something like 6 meters, 3.5 meters for the Y, and the height of the room can be 2.7 meters. Now we can just press tab to go into the edit mode, press 3 for face select, select this face, press X and delete it. Basically this way we can actually see inside the room and add all of the details over here. But before that, just quickly apply the scale. So select your object, press Ctrl A and apply the scale. Now you can press tab to go into the edit mode, go in over here and enable edge length. Basically this will help you to see the length of any of the edges that you are selecting. So that will help us a lot. Alright, so let's create this part first. You can press Ctrl R and add an edge loop right about here. So 1.95 meters above the ground. Then you can once again press Ctrl R, add one edge loop in the middle like this and hit right click to keep it exactly in the middle. Now we can press Ctrl B and bevel it out this way to give it thickness. So basically we are trying to create this section right over here. So now what I will do is I'll press 3 for face select, select all of these faces because we want to extrude them to create this type of looking like structure, because as you can see we have a space inside over here, so we need to extrude these walls out. But this will create a slight problem for us because as you can see it extrudes in a very weird way like this. So we don't want this. So the easy fix to avoid this is basically you go over here, press T to bring up this toolbar and select the extrude tool, and over here you can select the extrude manifold. Basically what this will do is now if you extrude them, you will see we do not get any extra redundant faces, and basically we can extrude them a lot more cleanly. So somewhere around 0.83 meters, and this can give us a nice look. You can go in the modifier section and add in a bevel modifier. Make sure to apply the scale and then adjust the bevel amount. Enable harden normals, and yeah, now you can see we kind of have a similar look. But over here this particular area is a little bit more downwards, so you can press tab, select this face, press G then Z to move it down, and just move it a little bit downwards like this, so that we have a bit uneven structure. Now I think that looks pretty good. Next we can add a platform over here at the bottom. So press Shift A and add in a cube, and let's press 7 for top view on the number pad, enable X-ray, and you can just move it over here at the back like this. Press tab and just select all of the edges and just adjust them according to our whole building like this. It can extend up a bit, it does not really matter. You just need to cover it like this. And now press S then Z and just scale it down on the Z axis. Let's move it down over here. And yeah, I think this is pretty good. I'll just select it and maybe move it a bit backwards like this. Next, we can also add in a bevel modifier. So just select it, go in the modifier section and add in a bevel modifier. It won't really work correctly, so just press Ctrl A and apply the scale. So yeah, just make sure to always remember to apply the scale. We can adjust the amount now and just enable harden novels. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Next, we can start adding these wooden planks. So again, press Shift A, add in a cube. Let's press 3 on a number pad to see the front view like this. Let's go in the wireframe mode and we can just scale it according to this front wall that we have over here. Just scale it a little bit bigger than it, and now just press tab, select this top part and move it right over here, select this bottom part and move it right over here. Yeah, I think that is pretty good. Maybe I'll just decrease the scale of it a little bit like this. Now just move it back. Make sure to decrease the scale like this as well on the x-axis. Now just move it back. So this way we have created our wooden planks, and we can just now duplicate them to the other areas as well. So I'll just quickly do that now. Press 3 on the number pad to view it like this. Then I will just maybe press S then Y to scale it down a tad bit on the Y axis. Press Ctrl A, apply the scale, and then we can just start duplicating this. So press Shift plus D. Now press R to rotate it and type in 90 to rotate it like this. Let's enable X-ray and just select this and move it right over here, and select this now and move it right over here. Press G then Z and move it right along this wall this way. And once again, just press Shift plus D. Press Y to bring it right over here and move it up. Yeah, that looks pretty good. I think I will also just select this, duplicate this once again, press Z, bring it down, and now press Tab, enable X-ray. You can select our selection tool and just select it now and bring it till here. You can just select this top one, press Tab, and just select this part and move it right over here. Alright, so that looks pretty good to me. Make sure to select all of them and press Ctrl A, apply the scale. And now I will show you how we can just make them look a little bit more like wooden planks, because right now they look like completely straight flat like blocks. So we want to make them look a little bit better and a little bit more like wooden planks. So let's select this wooden plank now, and we can start by adding in the bevel modifier. Let's adjust the bevel amount and enable harden normals. Next, you can add in a subdivision surface modifier, which will basically add like extra geometry into your wooden plank and make it like really smooth. You can increase the number of levels, and now it looks like much better than before, but still we need to add like some kind of displacement in the geometry to make it look more like a wooden plank. So we can add in a displace modifier, search for displace and add that. You will get like weird results like this, but don't worry. First, we need to create like a new texture, and then go in over here in the texture properties, and in the type select clouds. Now when you come back in the modifiers, you can adjust the strength, like the strength value, so somewhere around 0.02 or 0.03, something like this. Then we can control the mid level, and you will see like we get like a much better plank like looking shape. You can right click and shade auto smooth this. Now press tab, press Ctrl R, and add like a couple of edge loops in the corners like this. So add one over here and add one over here. Instantly you will see that we get like a much better plank like looking shape. If you turn off your displace modifier like this, you can already see we get like a much better wooden plank look. I will also just remove this pin and move the smooth by angle to the top. Alright, now we can just select all of the planks and select this one at last. So now we can press Ctrl J to join them together to basically add all of the modifiers to them as well. Now you might notice that these ones look a little bit weird. So just press tab, press Ctrl R, and add a couple of supporting edge loops, which will basically fix the like geometry. Let's add one over here as well. And obviously, if it does not fix, you can first just go into the texture properties, play around with this size, and you will get like different results. You can also just right click and shade auto smooth this to fix the shading issue. And yeah, now I think it looks pretty good. Let's add a couple of edge loops over here as well. Press tab, hold alt, select this loop, press X and delete the edge loop. And yeah, I think this is much better now. One thing that I will do is once again press tab, press A to select everything. Now you can press P and separate by loose parts to now basically just once again disconnect them all into being single objects. I will select these two and maybe just move them a little bit back like this. And yeah, this looks much better now. So we can start adding in more planks. Let's add over here as well in the corners. So let's select this, press Shift plus D, bring it over here, press R then Z, type in -90 to rotate it like this. Let's move it over here this way. Press tab, enable X-ray, and just bring it down. Now you don't really need to copy it over here as well. Just select it, add in a mirror modifier, and just select the mirror object as the room. Now you can set it on Y axis and remove it on the X, and you can see it will be duplicated automatically. Let's just select it and bring it out a little bit. And yeah, this is looking pretty good to me. Now, as you can see on the right side, we have these doors as well. So let's add that, and then we can add these wooden bars on top of them. So press Shift plus A and let's add in a cube. Let's scale this down on the Y axis like this. And for the X, we can put something like 1.4 meters. And the Z can be somewhere around 1.85. Yeah, that's pretty good. Let's just move this back and line it up with our walls and this wooden bar right over here. You can press the dot key on your number pad to focus on any object like this. Let's place this right over here. What I want to do is I will just select this wooden bar and the door as well and just move them right like this. And also select the wooden bar and let's just bring it out a little bit more this way. Yeah, that's pretty good. Just quickly adjust your door, something like this. Make sure to just select it, press Ctrl A and apply the scale. Now we can press Tab and press 3 for face select. Just select this face, press I to inset and let's inset this much. And now just press E to extrude it inwards. Basically to create this inset. And now we can add in a bevel modifier. Adjust the bevel amount and have something like this. Enable harden normals. Next, what I will do is I will add in a array modifier basically to duplicate this to something like that. And now we can once again just select our wooden bar, press Shift plus D. Make sure to remove the mirror modifier. We don't really need it. Remove it and now you can just press R then Y, type in 90 to rotate it like this. Let's move it up. Press Tab, enable X-ray, select it all and just bring it out over here. Let's move it a bit inwards around here and then just select it, press Shift plus D, press Z to lock on the Z axis and move it somewhere around here to create this type of look. I think I will select them all and just move them like far in this way. Select your doors and bring them out. Yeah, that's fine. Let's add these two bars as well. We have one over here and one over here. So we can just select this one, press Shift plus D to duplicate and place it just like this. Press Tab and enable X-ray. Just select it all and move it up. And make sure to just push it in like this. Once again, I will select it and remove the mirror modifier. We don't need that. And yeah, I think this is looking fine. Maybe I will just duplicate it one more time and place it right over here like this. Obviously, we don't have to like follow the reference image exactly, but we can just roughly follow it and create something similar. Now I think I'm pretty happy with the look over here. We can now start working on the left hand side, which is basically adding this open door so that some light can pour in through over here. So let's create that now. First, let's just hit save, press 1 for the side view like this, press Shift plus A, go into image, reference, and we can start by adding in this door and ceiling light reference image that I've added so that we can just easily create these doors and the ceiling light as well. So select it, press Shift plus S, cursor to select it to bring the cursor right over here. Now you can press Shift plus A, add in a cube, adjust the scale according to the reference image. And now we can just quickly press Tab and just adjust it according to the reference image like this. Press S then Y and let's scale this down like this. Now what I will do is press Tab, press Ctrl R, add edge loop right in the middle, hit right click, and you can just select this right side, press X and delete the vertices. This way we can just add in a mirror modifier to basically copy it over here so that we can just only work on the left hand side like this. So press Ctrl R now and add an edge loop right over here, add one right over here, and we can add one right over here. Press 3 for face select, select both of these faces, press X and delete the faces. Now you can just just quickly press Ctrl Z to undo, enable X-ray, and we can just add one edge loop right over here as well. Now you can just select the faces again. So press 3 for face select, select both of these faces and press X, delete them. Press Tab Press 1 for vertices select, hold Alt and select this loop, hold Shift and Alt, and again select this loop. Now you can press Ctrl E and bridge edge loops, basically to join them like this. Alright, now the door is almost ready. Press Tab, again press 3 for face select and select this face. You can insert this, or you can just directly press Ctrl R, add edge loop right over here and one over here. Alright, next we need to create like this kind of pattern like thing within our door. First just select this, press E and extrude it inwards like this. You can press tab, select this face and press X, delete it. Let's add in a bevel modifier to this and apply the scale. Adjust the bevel amount, and yeah, the door is looking pretty good. Select this, press Shift plus S, cursor to selected once again. Press Shift A and add in a plane. Rotate it on the X axis by 90 degrees like this. And we can just simply create these patterns as well. I think they're pretty simple. You scale it up a little bit, press tab, press Ctrl R once again, hit right click to add it in the middle, and you can just delete the right side once again and add in a mirror modifier. Now just simply you can go in the edit mode, press Ctrl R and add edge loops wherever you see like geometry over here. Like you can match the edge loops with those lines. Press Ctrl R and keep on adding these edge loops like this. Let's add one over here as well. Now you can press 2 for edge select and select all of these extra edges, basically where we do not have like any geometry. Now you can press X and delete those edges. And yeah, we can delete these two as well. Over here, this and this as well. Press X and delete everything. Select these ones in the middle as well. And again delete the vertices, not this one. Hold Control and deselect and delete the vertices. You can press 3 for face select, select all three of these faces. Press X and delete only faces. This way you get something clean like this. Press tab and you can select these two edges as well. Press X and delete the edges. Over here as well. And yeah, now as you can see, we only have the edges remaining wherever we have geometry. Now you can press tab, press A to select everything. Make sure you're on the vertices select mode, so press 1. And now press E to extrude. Press Y to lock on the Y axis and just give it a thickness like this. Now to basically add like 3D thickness to it, you can just add in a solidify modifier. You can increase the thickness. You will see it won't really work correctly, but don't worry, we can fix that. Just make sure to set this to complex and set the offset to 0. And now you can just control the thickness and you can see it is working perfectly. You can also add in a bevel modifier to it to make it a little bit smoother. Make sure to apply the scale as well. Enable harden normals. Let's decrease the thickness a bit. And yeah, that's pretty good. I'm happy with that. Let's select it and we can move it right over here. Press R then Z, type in 180 to rotate it by 180 degrees. Obviously, let's scale this down a bit. Bring it out over here. Press tab, we can select this vertex and just move it up so that it does not like, sorry, make sure to select both of them. So we can just move them up so that they don't overlap. And that's pretty good. Press 3 for the right side view, enable X-ray and just place it right along our wall like this. Let's decrease the scale of them now according to these doors in the front. So you can just select them and the Z is around 1.85 meters. So let's just decrease the scale of it and match the height of them to same 1.85 meters like this. And now we can just again carefully place them like this. Let's just duplicate them as well. So press Shift plus D, duplicate and place one over here like this. I think 2 is fine. We do want some open space as well. Next, I will just select this plank over here, press Shift plus D and bring it out over here. Pretty simple. As you can see, we have like this top part as well. So let's just quickly create that. I will just select my doors, press Shift plus S, cursor to select it. so that now when I press Shift A, add in a cube, it gets added over here and I can easily just place it like this. So let's decrease the Z to somewhere around 0.4 meters in height. So something like this. Decrease the scale on the Y axis and just press tab, enable X-ray, and just extend it up till here, and this one also like this till here. You can press 1 on the number pad to view it from over here and just carefully place it exactly like this. And yeah, that's pretty good. I will also just quickly press tab, go in the edit mode and disable edge length now because I don't think we need it anymore. Press Ctrl A, apply the scale, and let's press tab, press 3 for face select, select both of these faces, and now you can just press I to inset to create like something like this. Press X and delete the faces, and just again hold Alt, select this loop, hold Shift and Alt, select this loop, press Ctrl E and bridge edge loops. All right, perfect. And now basically what we want is we want to create like this open space so that light can come in for our doors right over here. So we need to delete some faces from our room. First, select your room, press slash to go into the local mode so that we can like freely work on this. You can press slash on your number pad to easily isolate objects. All right, let's press tab to go into the edit mode. If you press Ctrl R, you will notice that you cannot really add edge loops properly. So there is like a very simple fix for this. First, I will press Ctrl R, add an edge loop anywhere. So you can hit right click, press Ctrl R, add one edge loop over here, hit right click. You can see you can add like a single point over here. So just add a single point and add a single point over here. Now you can just select this vertex, press J to join them. Select these two, press J again, and select these two, press J. And once again, just select these two, press J. This way we have created like this one single loop that is going through. You can hold Alt and select it entirely. Press S then X and type in 0 to make it like entirely flat. So the reason I created this loop is now when I place it right over here in the corner, so you can press G then X and move it right over here. I can just freely add edge loops now wherever I want. Alright, press slash to come out of the isolation mode this way and press Ctrl R and add an edge loop right over here. Again press Ctrl R, add one edge loop right over here. So this way we can just easily select all of these faces like both of them, press X and delete the face. Pretty simple. That makes it a lot easier for us. I will just decrease the size of my windows, and with that the look is starting to come along pretty well. I'll select this wooden plank, press Shift plus D and press Z to bring it down. You can just flatten it up a bit and press S then Y and increase the scale like this. Yeah, pretty good. Select it, press Ctrl A, apply the scale. Select the doors and maybe move them up a tad bit like this. All right, so the overall look of the room is like pretty much done. We have to create like these sections and then we can just start working on the lighting and everything else. So let's just start by creating this top compartment right over here. I will just select this plank, go to object, set origin, origin to geometry, then press Shift plus S, cursor to selected so that I can bring the cursor point right over here. Press 3 on the number pad to line up your view like this. Press Shift A, add in a cube, and let's scale it down to somewhat around here. Bring it down like this and scale it up on the Y axis. Just like that. I'll quickly just press 1, enable X-ray, press tab and just move it till the back like this. And yeah, we have created our pretty simple looking compartment over here. Just increase the scale of it a little bit. Maybe I'll give it a tad bit more thickness. And now just press Ctrl A, apply the scale, press tab, press Ctrl R and add like 3 edge loops, then hit right click to create like 4 compartments. Now you can select all of these faces in the front, press I to inset, press I once again to inset them individually. Let's insert this somewhere around here. And now you can just press E and extrude it inwards. Add in a bevel modifier. Let's adjust the amount, enable harden normals. And yeah, that's looking pretty good to me. What I will do is I will just select this plank, press Shift plus D, duplicate it, just squish it down like this, press tab. Let's press 7 for top view, enable X-ray, and just select all of these back vertices and move them back till here. Yeah, that's looking pretty good. Press Ctrl A, apply the scale. And yeah, that's looking good. Let's add this now. So press Shift A once again, add in a cube, scale it down. Let's press 3 for the front view of the room, enable X-ray, and just place it right over here in the corner. Let's increase the scale a bit, somewhere around here, and let's just move it correctly. Press S then X and scale it down on the X axis, something like this. Yeah, I think this is pretty good. Next, what I will do is I will press Ctrl A, again apply the scale, press Tab, press Ctrl R, add a edge loop right in the middle, so hit right click. You can select both of these faces once again, press I to insert them like this. Once again, just extrude it like this. Pretty simple. Add in a bevel modifier, enable harden normals, and adjust the amount. So pretty simple stuff now. Press Tab and we can just select these three faces. Press Shift plus D to duplicate them. Hit right click and press P and separate the selection so that we can create like these separate faces. Maybe scale them up a little bit like this. Go in over here and add in a solidify modifier, and you can just give it thickness in the opposite direction like this. And yeah, we have basically created like this wooden part as well. I'll set this to complex, and we do see like some issues over here. Let's move the solidify modifier above the bevel, and yeah, that fixes our issues. And now it looks pretty good. Next, you can create this small wooden plank right over here. So just select this one. We can press Shift plus D, duplicate. Let's bring it down. Press Tab. Let's enable X-ray and select it all and just push it in over here. If you want, you can just also like select this part and move it up like this to create like the curved bit right over here. So you can do something like that as well. Let's select it and just squish it in a bit like this and move it back. And yeah, I think that is looking pretty good. Next, what we can do is we can start working on these like tatami mats that are like pretty easy to make. Let's press 7 for top view, press Shift A, go to image, reference, and we can add in this tatami mat reference image that I've added. You can use whichever one you want. I think I will be going with this one. So just select this, press Shift plus S, cursor to select it, press Shift A and add in a plane. Enable X-ray, just scale this plane down and scale it according to this one. So just scale it up till here. And yeah, I think that's pretty good. Press Tab, press Ctrl R, and just start adding edge loops wherever you see like these black lines. Next, what we will do is we'll just press 2 for edge select all of these edges wherever we like don't see this like black line. So let's select all of them, press X and select dissolve edges, something like this, so that you only get the edges wherever we have like this or like black colored part. You can select this one as well, press X and dissolve the edge. Now this way we can just simply press tab and first press Ctrl A, apply the scale and select all of these faces. So press A to select everything, and now you can just press I to insert them to create something like that. And I'll just maybe press E and extrude it downwards like this to create this sort of pattern, and we can add in a bevel modifier to this. Make sure to press Ctrl A, apply the scale. I'll just select this image and move it aside. Select your like tatami mat object, enable X-ray, and we can just place it right over here and scale it up. So something like this, I think the size is fine. Press G then Z and move it down right over here, just like that. Now we can just quickly go into the edit mode, enable X-ray, and just select all of these vertices so that we can just move them towards the right a little bit and just fit it a bit more better. And with that, I think we are pretty much done with the basic, like all of the main assets of our room. A couple of things that I will do is I will just select one of these planks, press Shift plus D to duplicate, and let's just create a simple roof as well. So just place it right over here, scale it down. Now you can press tab. Let's press 7 for top view. Just select all of it. Press G then Y and move it like this. I'll also just hold Alt, select this loop, hold Shift and Alt, select this loop, press X and dissolve the edge loops for now. so that we have like this kind of roof. Then we can press tab, press 3 for face select, select this face, press I to inset, and now just extrude it like this. Now press Ctrl R, give it two edge loops, use your scroll wheel, and then press S then Y to scale it up towards the corner. Again, add two edge loops like this, press S then X, and scale it up like this. And this is basically our roof. Go to Object, Set Origin, Origin to Geometry. Just adjust the scale a little bit. Now just make sure to select it, press Ctrl A, and apply the scale. And yeah, perfect. I think this is looking fine. Next thing that I will add is we can also add like these circular like things to like hold the doors or like open them over here as well. So let's just quickly select this part, press Shift plus S, cursor to selected, press Shift A, add in a cylinder, scale this down, press R then Y and type in 90 to rotate it like this, and just place it right over here. Once again, you can just press the dot number, like the dot key on your number pad to focus on any object. Let's place it right like this. Right click and shade auto smooth this. Press tab, press 3 for face select, press I to inset and just insert it inwards like this. I will just simply select it and add in a mirror modifier. Select the mirror object as this and set it on Y axis. Remove it on X. And yeah, basically we can like easily create a duplicate. Let's press Shift plus D and move it right over here. Remove the mirror modifier. Scale it down a bit because these ones are like a little bit smaller compartments. And once again, just add in a mirror modifier. This time change the mirror object to this and first set it to Y axis. Remove it from the X. Now select it and just move these ones to the corner like this. Perfect, that's looking good. Again, select this, press Shift plus D and bring it out. Let's remove the mirror modifier, press R then Z, type in -90 to rotate it like this. And we can maybe place one of them over here. Let's scale them up a bit because for the doors they need to be bigger. Yeah, something like that. Now select it, press Shift plus D. Let's bring one right over here. Again, press Shift plus D and use one right over here. All right, with that, all of the main assets of the room are done. Obviously, we'll be adding some more small props, but for now, this is pretty good. Let's set up the lighting now and then we can work on the materials. Also, guys, if you're liking the video, please make sure to like and subscribe. It does help out a lot. All right, so let's continue. First, let's just quickly set up our camera. I will also minimize this reference image now. Select your floor, press Shift plus S, cursor to select it. Let's press 3 so that you can view it like this so that the camera is lined up perfectly. Now press Shift plus A and add in a camera. You can see it will be added perfectly like this. So just move it up and move it back over here. Press 0 to view through your like camera. Press 0 on your number pad and you can come over here in the object data properties of the camera. Let's reduce the focal length from 50 to 35. And you can go over here in the view tab. So press N and just select this view tab. Enable camera to view. And now you can basically move around your camera pretty freely. So let's zoom in till here, somewhere around here. Let's move it up a little bit. Now just make sure to disable your camera to view so that you don't accidentally like move your camera view. Now we can come back over here. Let's go into the rendered view. So now our scene is all dark. So just press Shift A and add in a sun lamp. And the lighting setup is actually going to be like really simple. Just one single sun lamp only. So now press R then X and rotate the light like this. Obviously I will be using cycles. So switch to cycles, set this to GPU. You can also enable denoise. Now just select your light and go in the object data properties and we can just select the temperature first and decrease it because we are going for like a really sunset type of scene. So we can set it somewhere around 4000 so that we get like this yellowish tint. Next, what I will do is I will also increase the angle because if you will see in the reference image as well, the shadows are like really soft. We don't really get to see like these harsh edges of the window. So just increase the angle over here so that you get like really soft shadows. So I'll increase it a lot, somewhere around 30, 35, 40, something like that. And now you can select your sun, like the sun lamp, press R then X and start rotating it like this, so that we get like half of the room is dark, as it is over here, and half of in like half of the room we get like sunlight, so something like this. And now you can start increasing the strength so that you get like a decent amount of light, and it also feels like a sunset as well. So somewhere around here, I think I'll increase the strength a bit more. Don't worry, after we add the materials, it would be like a lot more apparent. Let's press 0 to view through our camera. You can also go in over here and enable render region, so that we only get to see the area that will be rendered and nothing else. And yeah, that's fine. Let's add in a background right over here. So press Shift A and go into image, select mesh plane, and in the textures folder, you will find this background image that I've added. This is basically like a sunset type of background. So press R, then Z, type in 90 to rotate it like this. Or maybe I'll type in R, then Z, type in minus 90 to rotate it in this way. Let's scale it up. Press 0 to view through your camera and just place it somewhat like this. Now, obviously, we will be having like windows over here, so you don't have to worry about this area. We only really need to worry about this area over here. Like over these parts, we will have the window. Also, as you can see, the like image over here looks like really dark, which looks pretty bad. So you can go in over here and select shader editor and just select your like background image. And instead of plugging this into the principal BSDF, you can directly plug this into the surface over here. So select the color channel and directly plug in surface. Instantly you will see like it is a lot more bright now. So that is exactly what we want. And we do get like this ground as well over here. So everything looks perfect. I will select this principal BSDF and delete it. I think for now, the basic lighting setup is fine. So next what we will do is we'll add some outlines, which will also give like a lot of anime feel to our environment. So just press Shift A and you can go in over here, grease pencil, and select scene line art. As soon as we do that, you can see we start getting all of this like lines in our scene. Go in the modifier section, and first I will just disable crease threshold. So basically what crease threshold will do is, you can see we get like a lot of outlines right now, all of these extra outlines as well. So just disable crease thresholds and you will get like way more comic or anime style feel like outlines. So just disable that. I will also add in a thickness modifier and basically enable uniform thickness. Now we can control like the thickness overall of all the outlines at once. So let's set this somewhere around 0.001. Okay, that's pretty low. So 003. Yeah, that feels pretty good. Let's quickly just press F12. Go in over here first, and you can set the max samples to something like 100 so that it does not take long. Press F12 and let's give it a quick render to see how it looks. Alright guys, so yeah, this is how our render looks right now. I think it's coming along pretty nicely. After we add all of the materials, it will be looking like pretty good. Alright, so let's continue. Let's close this, hit save, and start working on the materials now. So let's start by creating the wood material. Select any of the blanks, click on new and rename this to wood. Press Shift A and add in an image texture. And once again, if you will go in the texture that I have provided, you will find this wood texture. Just select it and we can just first directly plug this in and we get like this type of look. You can select your texture, press Ctrl plus T to basically bring these two nodes, and select your wooden plank, press Tab, press A to select everything. Make sure you apply the scale first, and now you can just press U. After you've selected everything, press U and just hit Smart UV Project and hit Unwrap, so that we get like a nice UV unwrap of our wood. I think that looks fine. Now what I will do is I'll press Shift A and add in a hue saturation node. Basically this will help us to like control the color of the wood. So let's make it a bit darker. So by decreasing the value, you can make the wood darker, and I will also like make it a bit desaturated as well. Okay, one more thing that we should change before we start working on the materials is, if you go in the render properties under the color management section, make sure to change from AGX to standard. It will basically improve your colors a lot. As you can see over here with the background as well, with AGX, it looks kind of dull and a bit cinematic. With standard, we get like a lot more saturated and like the colors are popping a lot more. And set the look to something like medium high contrast. Yeah, that's much better. Let's select our wood once again. And now what I basically want is, the basic setup of the wood material is fine. Now what I want is, I want to like mask out the edges so that we can like show a little bit of edge damage as well. to give it more of that like anime feel. So there is like a very simple and easy way to do that. Press Shift A and add in a bevel node. Press Shift A again and add in a dot product node. So plug this one over here. Press Shift A again and add in a geometry node. And now just take the normal input from over here and plug this into the dot product. Finally, you can just plug this into map range node. And we just need to change the values a bit. So just change this minimum value, to minimum value to 1 and to maximum value to 0. Now when you control this like this particular value, so let's say I set this to somewhere around zero point 0.9 and plug this into the base color, you will see I have successfully like masked out the edges, and now I can just control it by using this value. So now I want to like use this to like in combination with my wood. So to do that, you can just add in a mix color node and plug this into the factor, and now plug the result over here in the base color. For the wood, we can plug this into the A, and yeah, as you can see now we can like kind of control this B color to control the color of the edges. I will just change this blending mode from mix to I think color dodge and just switch this to like a white color. So decrease the saturation, maybe make it a tad bit darker. And yeah, I think something like this is pretty good. I think this gives us like a nice bit of feel to our wood. Also, I'll make the wood a bit more darker. Yeah, that's fine. You can also control like the edges by controlling this radius value of the bevel, but I think the default is fine. Maybe let's increase the from minimum value to something like 0.9597. Yeah, that's fine. Now that the material is done, we can just copy it up to all of the objects that need to have the wood material. I will also just quickly turn off my line art modifier. So turn it off in the viewport. Now select all of the planks that need to have like the wood material. We'll select this door as well. Now once you have selected all of the objects that need to have the wood material, at last select this one which has the material. Now press Ctrl L and link materials, which will basically like join them all together and give them the same material. I will just quickly reduce this from min value to something like 0.92, and you can press Shift A and add in a color ramp in between as well, like a color ramp node, and we can use this to like control the fall off of the edges. Yeah, I think now something like this is pretty good. I will also select my sunlight and maybe make it a lot more brighter. So set the intensity to something like 4. Yeah, so that we get like a decent amount of light. Next, we can select our tatami mats, click on new, rename this first material to just tatami, and we can give this like a greenish type of color. Yeah, I think that's fine. Now you can go in over here in the material section, click on this plus icon and create a new material. Just rename this to like black, and I will just press tab, select all of these faces, press Ctrl I to invert my selection, select the black material and hit assign, just so they all have like a different material. And now you can just change this to like a darker color like this. Pretty nice. I will just select my floor, maybe increase the roughness a bit for both of the materials. And also I will just press tab, make sure X-ray is enabled. Press 2 for edge select, select this edge over here and all these edges. Now press S then Y and just scale them in. Make sure to select individual origins and press S then Y to scale them down like this, so that they kind of match the scale of the uh, other lines. Yeah, that is pretty good. Next, you can select the room itself, create a new material, rename this to room. And this is going to be like really basic and simple. Just press Shift A and add in a ambient occlusion node and plug this in over here. And now just control the distance to a lower number, something like that. And you can see instantly the walls look a lot better with this ambient occlusion node. And yeah, I think this much is fine. We don't really need to do too much. Yeah, select the doors now, click on new and rename this material to doors. Click on this plus icon to add in another like slot and select this black material. Press tab now once again. Let's just select this face and press Ctrl I to invert. Select the black material and hit assign. This way all of these ones get like the black colored material, which is exactly what we want. I will also select all of these like handles. Just give them the black material once again, and you can press Ctrl L while all of them are selected and link materials. Perfect. Let's select this and give it the same doors material and click on plus icon, and once again just select this material for the second slot. Press tab, select these two faces, press Ctrl I to invert the selection, and now select the black material, hit assign. Pretty easy stuff. I'll again do the same thing over here as well. Give it the doors material, create a new slot, and just press Ctrl I once again to invert, hit assign. Perfect. You can see how easily we can like add these materials. I will also select my wood itself and maybe just make the color of the edges a bit darker, because I think it's a bit too much right now. Yeah, that's better. We can also just quickly press F11, press J to switch between the slots, and press F12 to give it like a quick render. Alright, so this is how our render looks. Yeah, it's coming along nicely. Let's keep on going further, and we can now add in the window part because it is looking a bit weird. So select your doors, press Shift plus S, cursor to selected. Let's add in a simple plane. Rotate it on the x-axis by 90 degrees. Move it up. Press tab and just select this edge and move it right over here. Create a new material, rename this to glass. And what I will do is I will just select this principal BSDF, delete it, press Shift A and add in obviously a glass BSDF, but I won't be like using it directly. Instead, what I will do is I'll press Shift A and add in a emission node and just mix them both in. So use a mix shader. Now plug this in over here and just mix in with a emission shader. So something like that. And now I will just change the color of the emission to something orangish to feel a bit of like evening type of vibe, something like that. Now you can play around with the factor. Basically, turning it to 1 will give it completely the emission shader and 0 will be completely the glass shader. So maybe somewhere around 0.5, 0.6, like this. And I'll increase the roughness of this. And one thing you need to make sure to do is to just select your glass and go in over here in the object data properties, and under the visibility, just make sure to disable shadows so that entire light can like pass through this. Like, it is totally up to you if you want to do it or not, but yeah, I will just disable shadows so that light can pass through. Now you can select the frame itself, press Shift plus D to duplicate and move it up over here. Again press tab, select this edge and move it right along over here. Just move it up. This one is like poking out a bit, so just fit that in properly. Yeah, that's looking pretty good to me. What I will do is I will just select this part, press Shift plus D and duplicate it over here as well. And you can just bring it in like this. Alright, so now we can add like some kind of pattern over our doors. You can see in the reference image as well, we have like something similar. So you can use a texture that I've prepared. So press Shift A and add in a image mesh plane. Select this scenery and just move it right over here. And the way we mask it out is pretty simple. You can just basically delete this principal BSDF, plug the color channel over here into a color ramp and press Shift A, add in a mix shader node. This goes in the surface, this goes in the factor. And now to basically mask it out, we need a transparent node. So transparent BSDF and just plug this in over here. And yeah, now you can see we have like masked it out successfully. Press R then Z, type in -90, rotate it like this and just bring it close to our doors. Just like this. Maybe scale them up a bit. Like that. I'll press Shift plus D and duplicate it. Maybe press S then X, type in -1 to flip them like this. Or no, I think this way it was better. Alright, now once again I'll press Shift A and add in the, or instead we can just duplicate this. So press Shift plus D, duplicate this, place this one like this. And now you can just click on this 3 to basically create this into a unique material. So now we can just go over here, click on this and select the scenery too. This way we can like simply replace them easily. Maybe scale this down a bit and just try to fit this like that. All right, I think this is looking pretty good. So with that, like the basic setup of our room is done. Now we'll be adding like some props. We'll add like a small table, some like photos over here, like a small vase and a ceiling light. And then we'll be done. We will be doing some compositing. All right, guys. So let's create the ceiling light first. We do have like a simple reference image for that. You can press 1 to view it over here. Select this, press Shift plus S cursor to select it. Let's press Shift A and add in a simple cube. I'll come back into the layout tab. Let's scale it according to the reference image. Press tab and just bring it over here. Let's see, now we can just make it a bit more thicker like this. So this will be like the main ceiling light, and we can just add now some like wooden lines around it. So select it first, go to object, set origin, origin to geometry. Press Shift plus S cursor to select it. Let's press Shift A and add in a simple cube. Let's scale this cube down and place it right over here and just bring it down like this. Now you can add in a mirror modifier to this and select the mirror object as this cube. Bring it over here in the corner. Also set it on the Y axis as well. This way we can like duplicate this. Let's again select this, press Shift plus D. Let's remove the mirror modifier for now. Press R and type in 90 to rotate it like this. Place one over here this way. And once again just stretch it till here. Scale it up a tad bit like this. And once again add in a mirror modifier. Let's set this on the Z axis and the X. Duplicate this and rotate it 90 degrees. Just like that. Move it in a bit so that we get like this overlapping wood type of feel. Just like that. Maybe make them a tad bit longer. Alright, now we just need to duplicate them on the x-axis. Perfect. Now our ceiling light is ready. We can just add like these extra details. So just select your cube, press tab, press 3 for face select. Let's select this face, press Shift plus D and duplicate it out. Bring it out over here, press P and separate the selection so that we can create it into a different object. And once again, we'll do the same thing. Add one edge loop right over here. Add two like this. And it is like the similar technique. Set this to bounding box, press S then X, scale them up a bit. And it's like the same technique that we used earlier. Instead, we can do something even quicker as well. You can just add in a skin modifier. Press tab, press A to select everything, and now press Ctrl A and scale it down like this. Move it in. You can delete these vertices to avoid like those extra ones. Delete the vertices. Just select any one of them and select mark root because I think I accidentally deleted a root as well. Let's delete these edges too. And perfect. We get like a similar look. Just move it in like this. You can press Ctrl A and increase the scale of them like this in edit mode. And now add in a mirror modifier to them. Select the mirror object as this, set it on the Y axis. Again duplicate, rotate it by 90 degrees and place it like this. This time set it on the X axis. Perfect, our ceiling lights are ready. You can add in a couple of cylinders to sell the look even more. We can put one at the top, duplicate it and put one over here. Scale it up, which is basically like to pull it and turn it on and off. Let's move this over here in the corner. Select this, press Shift plus S, cursor to selected, and add in a cylinder at the bottom like this. Pretty good. I'll select it all. Let's move it right over here. Press 0 to view through your camera, scale it down. And let's see. I do want it like visible in my view. So it does not really matter what exactly the height of your room is. You can like place it somewhere around here like this. Yeah, that's fine. Maybe I'll add this pattern over here at the bottom as well. So just duplicate this and remove the mirror modifier. Rotate this on the y-axis by 90 degrees and just move it up. You can press 7 for top view. Let's enable X-ray and place it just about in the middle. Press tab and increase the size of them. Alright, so now our ceiling lights are ready. Let's look at them through the camera. Go into the render view mode. First, I will select this back thing and add in a new material. Rename this to ceiling light. And basically, this is going to be like a emission material. So add in a emission shader and just control the strength to whatever you want. You can also control the color as well. But let's keep this like at 1 only. And the rest of the objects can have like the obviously the wood material. So just select them all one by one. This as well. And now you can select any wooden object, press Ctrl L and link materials. Simple. Maybe what I'll do is I'll just select all these. And before you actually do anything, I just want to like join them together so that it is like easier to manage them all. What I will do is I'll press F3 and select convert to mesh. Basically, this will apply all of the modifiers so that now I can press Ctrl J to join them all together into a single object. And the reason I'm doing that is so that I can just click on this wood material and create it into a new wood material so that I can just switch up the color a bit. So I will decrease the saturation and decrease the value as well a bit. Increase the roughness and decrease this like edge value as well. We don't really need like too much of this edge damage over here on the ceiling light. Yeah, I think this looks much better. Let's keep on adding a few more props. Let's press 1 for the front view. Press Shift A, go to Image, Reference, and select this vase. And once again, this is pretty simple. Press Shift plus S, cursor to select it. Press Shift A and add in a cylinder. Match it right over here. Obviously, it does not have to be perfect. We just need like the overall shape correct. Rest everything can be like just roughly right. So you basically just select this top loop, press E to extrude, and then we can press S to scale it up and match with the reference image, and just repeat these steps, extrude and scale. Alright, so now our base is ready. What we will do is first press tab and select this top face, press X and delete it. Right click and shade auto smooth. If you want, you can add in like a subdivision surface modifier as well to make it a bit more smoother. Select this bottom face, press I to insert this to just fix like this weird issue. Yeah, that's much better. And we can now just select it, move it right over here. Let's press 7 for top view, enable X-ray and place it right about here. Press 0 to view through your camera and just scale it down. Although in the reference image it is like pretty small, but we'll keep it like decently big because we do want to like fill up some space over here because it does look like kind of empty. So yeah, we can now click on new and just remove this principled BSDF and add in a toon BSDF. So this will give it like manga type of or comic book type of shading. So select glossy and increase the size to 1 and just change the color to blue. Something like this. I'll just desaturate the color a bit. Yeah, I think that's pretty good. Next, we can add in a table. So press Shift A and just simply add in a cube. Let's move this cube right over here. Let's scale it down on the Z axis. You can come over here in the solid view mode like that. And yeah, I think this much is pretty good for the table. So I will be creating it like pretty basic. Press Shift plus S, cursor to select it, press Shift A and add in a cube. And these can be like the table legs. Just place them over here in the corner. Next, you can just add in a mirror modifier to this and set the mirror object as this cube and set it on X and Y. Press tab, press 1 for vertices select, and you can just select these two vertices. Press M and merge them at center. Again, select these two, press M and merge them at center. This way we can create like a slight leg-like looking shape. Select this vertice, press G then Y and just move it out a bit this way. And we can now finally add in a subdivision surface modifier. Add in a couple of edge loops over here as well. Create like a bit better shape for our table legs. I'll just quickly select these back vertices, scale them up like this. Yeah, I think that's fine. Let's press slash to come out of the local mode. Select them both and bring this down right over here. Yeah, that's good. Maybe I'll just press Shift plus D to duplicate. Press S then Shift plus Z to scale it up a bit more so that we can have like a bit more detailing with our table. Now just select all the objects of your table, then select any of the wooden plank, press Ctrl L and link materials to add the materials over here as well. I will once again just select all of this, press F3, convert to mesh and press Ctrl J to join them together just so I can again create a separate material for this wood because I do want a bit less saturation for this and a bit less this like edge damage as well. So reduce this min value. I'll increase the value a bit to make it a tad bit lighter. Let's try 0.025. And now I will just increase the hue a bit of this to give it like a different shade of wood. And yeah, I think this looks pretty good. Maybe I'll do the same thing over here as well with the doors. Just select them both and select these two wooden objects. Press F3 and convert to mesh. Then press Ctrl J to join them all together. And just basically change the hue of the wood just a tad bit, not a lot. Just so there is like a slight bit of variation in the environment. So set this to 0.53. Yeah, that feels pretty good to me. Also, I'll come in over here in the color management, just set the contrast to medium low maybe, or I think to medium. Yeah, that works a lot better. So the last props that I will be adding are like a couple of frames that we can add over these walls. So just press Shift A and go to image, add in a mesh plane, and you can select this one. So basically this simple scroll. Press tab, press 2 for it select, select this edge, and you can now press G twice to slide across this edge like this to basically crop it. So press G 2 times and just basically slide your edge like this. Yeah, pretty good. Press Shift plus S, cursor to select it, and we can just simply add in a cube, scale this cube down, and match it according to the scroll itself. Let's hide the camera for now. Select this cube again, scale it up, and this can basically act as the frame behind. Decrease the thickness of it on the X axis like this. And yeah, that's pretty basic and simple. We don't have to do too much. Select this and give this the wood material. Now select these two, place them right over here, maybe scale them up a tad bit and just move them back. I'll do the same thing once again. Press Shift A and go to Image, add a mesh plane, and this time select this. We can just select this frame only, duplicate it, bring it out over here. Let's select these two, press slash to go into the local mode, and over here in the solid view, just place it like this. Select it all and move it right over here. And yeah, pretty simple. Now we have created both our frames. Press slash to come out of the local mode. Let's place this one right over here. Yeah, pretty good. You can also select like these two and add in a hue saturation node in between. If you want to like kind of control the darkness or lightness of these textures, you can control that using these. And with that, our like environment texturing, everything is done. We can press F11 now, press J and press F12 once again to render it. And then we can now just basically press J to compare between the two. Let's wait for the render to finish. Alright guys, so the render is done now. I think it looks pretty good now. And with added like compositing and everything, it will look like much better. One thing that I'm noticing is that these lines are appearing over here, which look pretty weird. So just select them all. You can just join them together. So press Ctrl J to join and go in over here in object properties and under line art, just select exclude. And yeah, that is going to fix that. Let's give it one more render so that we can use that for compositing. Alright guys, so the render is done now. Now we can just switch over to the compositing tab, click on new, and you can create like this. Divide, set this to image editor and set the render result over here. Basically, this is to like see all of the changes that we are making. Like we can see them update over here. So the first thing that I will do is I always do that add the Kuwahara node, which basically gives that anime type of feel. Also go in over here and set this to GPU so that it is like a bit faster. Press Shift A and now add in the posterize node. So the posterize node basically adds like this type of effect, and we can like adjust this value and increase it obviously. Let's go for somewhere around here. What I basically want to do is I want to mix them both. So plug this into a mix color and now plug this into the B, and now this can go in the result. So we get like this type of result if we like control the factor value now. If you put it at 1, it is basically entirely the posterized node, and at 0, it is basically entirely the Kuwahara node. So we can set this somewhere around 0 0.2 because we don't want like too much of this posterized effect. I'll set this to something like 25. Yeah, that's pretty good. Now you can just select them all, and when you press M, you can basically turn them on or off, and you can see the effect they add. Instantly, it gives it like a bit more like painted type of look instead of giving like a full on CG look. Maybe I'll just increase it a bit to 30. Let's see. Yeah, that's fine. Next, we can add something like a glare node because obviously we do need like a bit of glow. So add a glare, change this to fog glow, and now just decrease the threshold to something like, let's try 0.3. Instantly you will see we get like a lot of glow in our environment. If you increase the glare size, we'll basically get that dreamy or hazy type of look. As you can see, you can just select this again, press M to turn it on and off. I think I'll decrease the threshold even more so that we get even more glow. Yeah, instantly you can see it gives it like a way more anime type of look. Yeah, we can use something like this. Next, we can press Shift A and add in maybe a soften filter node. So add this. Basically, it will like soften up some of the edges. You can decrease the value of it to something like 0 0.5. Yeah, that's fine. We also have like a couple of nodes over here. You can add the vignette if you want to. Basically, it will create like darkening of the corners. You can just decrease the factor to something like 0.2 or 0.3 so that it is like really faint. Basically, it creates like more focus at the center, but I don't think I'm going to use it. So let's just remove that. You can also use this chromatic aberration, which I think most of you might know. It basically creates like this splitting type of effect. It does not look that great in like large amounts. So just make sure to keep it like at a very low number, something like 0.05. If you do want to add it, I don't think I will be adding it. Yeah, Okay, let's just use it. It does not matter. You can also use the sensor noise, which basically adds like these tiny particles of noises. You can definitely use that, but at a very low number. So again, 0.025 and this one at 0.015. So yeah, really like subtle, but we can definitely add that. One more thing that I will do is I will add in like a color balance node to basically control like the shadows, midtones, and the highlights. So gain is for highlights, as you can see. I will definitely increase it to 1.1 maybe a bit more 1.2. Yeah, that's fine. And for the lift, again, I will increase it. If you increase it, basically the shadows will get like less contrasty. So not that much, like 0.01. You can just select it, press M to mute the node now. And I think it is a bit too much. So somewhere around 0.004. Sorry, 004. Two zeros. Yeah, that's much better. And already you can see compositing does like a lot of heavy lifting with these type of renders. If you just select it all and now press M to turn off the effect of compositing, you can like clearly see that it adds a huge effect on our renders. What I will do is, one thing that I want to do is just increase the size of like these ceiling lights. So let's just do that quickly. Yeah, that's much better. Press F11, press J and press F12 to basically give it a new render. Alright guys, so the render is done now. You can press J to compare between the older and the newer one. And I do think the bigger ceiling light does look a little bit better. So yeah, I'll be going with that. And if you come back to compositing now, you can add like a couple of more nodes if you want. Like we can add in a hue saturation node to basically give it like different types of vibes by changing these values. You can also add in like a brightness contrast node again to change all these values. You can do like all different types of image adjustments, but I think in Blender this is pretty good for compositing. What I will do is I will just add like a couple more things in Photoshop to take it to like one another level, like adding a bit more final polish. So you can just go in over here and save your renders, and let's bring this into Photoshop. Alright guys, so we have our render over here in Photoshop. I will just quickly right click over my layer and convert it to a smart object. You can go in the filters, and I will just add in a sharpen more to basically add like a bit of sharpness to the render. I think that looks pretty good. It makes the details look a lot more crisp. Next, I will go in filter once again and add in a camera raw filter. And I'm not going to do too much because you can do like all sorts of image adjustments in this one single filter only. This is like a mega filter with all of the effects. I will just increase the texture a bit. So as you can see, if you increase it, you get kind of like free detail. If you increase the texture a lot, we don't want to increase it that much, somewhere around 30, 40. That would be good. You can also play around with the clarity value as well. Maybe decrease it or increase it just a tad bit. And obviously, yeah, you can do all sorts of things with the contrast, exposure, and whatnot. But yeah, as I said, I won't be doing too much over here. We have done enough compositing. You can just turn them on and off. And you can see they add like a bit of like free detail over here in our render. But what I actually want to do is just basically add like this sun rays effect. So if you drag and drop this texture that I've also added for everyone in the like link in description, you will get like this god rays effect. We'll use this to our advantage, like basically adding these rays in our render. You can just place them over here, press Ctrl T to bring this, and you can just place it around something like that. And what I will do is first I will just add in a filter and go to blur and add in a Gaussian blur and just increase the radius of it to something like that. Now to make it look good, obviously you can change the blending mode from normal to color dodge, and instantly you will see you get like that anime type of sunset glow. So maybe just scale it up a bit. We don't want it like over all our render, just over this area, like that maybe. Yeah, as you can see, instantly it makes it look a lot more better. But we do want to like decrease the opacity a bit, so something like maybe 60, 65. And yeah, you can see that it will add like a lot of that final polish to your render, and now it looks like really really good. One another thing that you can do that will make your render look a lot more like anime is that you can just click over here to add a new layer and just take your brush, switch to white color, and paint over your ceiling light. And after you have done that, just right click and convert to a smart object. Go to filter, again, Gaussian blur, not that much. Let's just reduce it up a bit, somewhere around here. And now once again, you can play around with the blending modes to maybe change it to something else. But I think even normal works fine. You just need to tone down the opacity. So it will add like this nice looking glow over your ceiling lights. And yeah, I think I'm pretty happy with the render now. I also added some of these like small props later on to make the scene a bit more detailed. I did not add this part in the video because the video was already pretty long. So yeah, if you created all of this, you can definitely add these small details as well, like these books or glasses and everything, just to make the scene a bit more lived in. And yeah, guys, this was pretty much it for the video. If you want to check out the full version, you can do that on the Patreon. I have a lot of other stuff over there as well, like some of my advanced anime courses. So yeah, you can definitely check that out. But this was pretty much it for the video. I am definitely very happy with the results that we have got. And if you like the video, please make sure to like and subscribe. I have more videos like this coming up. I also have like a small series building up of these like anime type of scenes. So if you want to check them out, you can do that. And yeah, thank you for watching. I will see you in the next one.